Welcome to World News by Halandzovskyi. If you value clear, factual, and timely coverage of major events, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts. Today, we are covering a developing story out of Brown, where a shooting incident has unfolded and attracted widespread attention. Here's what we know so far and why it matters. In Brown today, multiple gunshots were reported in a public area, triggering an immediate response from local law enforcement and emergency services. Authorities arrived quickly on the scene, securing the area and beginning investigations while treating victims and coordinating with medical responders. Initial reports indicate there were injuries, and local hospitals confirmed they were treating individuals brought in from the incident. At the time of reporting, police have not released a definitive motive for the shooting. Investigators are interviewing witnesses, reviewing available video footage, and analyzing ballistic evidence to determine the sequence of events and who may have been responsible. In many such cases, officials also examine any potential connection to broader motives, personal, political, criminal, or otherwise, though early updates indicate that it is too soon to categorize this incident clearly. Emergency authorities have advised the public to avoid the immediate area while investigations continue. Schools nearby implemented precautionary measures, closing campuses temporarily and arranging secure transport for students and staff until the scene could be fully secured. Local officials emphasized that their priority is ensuring public safety and providing support to those affected. As details emerge, community leaders have expressed shock and sorrow. Such events tend to trigger deep emotional responses from residents, especially in communities where such violence is not commonplace. Families of victims, neighbors, and local officials are already grappling with the immediate humanitarian response, including medical care, psychological support, and law enforcement cooperation. It is important to note that at this stage, official statements focus on establishing facts rather than speculation. Authorities continue to urge calm while promising transparency as more information becomes available. Press briefings are expected later today, with prosecutors and police giving updates on suspects, charges, and ongoing investigative steps. This incident in Brown cannot be viewed in isolation. Across the United States, shootings, whether mass events or otherwise, have become a recurring focus of public policy debate, raising questions about gun regulation, community safety, mental health supports, and law enforcement preparedness. In recent years, many American cities and towns have sought to balance the protection of individual rights with calls for greater controls on firearms access and storage. Advocates for stricter gun laws argue that incidents like the one in Brown highlight the urgent need for reforms aimed at preventing guns from falling into the hands of individuals prone to violence. Opponents of stricter legislation emphasize the cultural and constitutional dimensions of firearm ownership, arguing that solutions should focus on enforcement of existing laws rather than expansion of regulatory power. Meanwhile, local law enforcement organizations continue to analyze both the tactical aspects of response protocols and the strategic implications of community policing. Rapid response, cooperation with schools and medical services, and transparent communication with residents are all central to mitigating harm and restoring public confidence after such events. The emotional and psychological impact on the community is also significant. Neighbors, first responders, witnesses, and families of those affected often require ongoing support well beyond the initial hours. In many cases, community groups, counselors, and civic leaders band together to provide resources, vigils, and forums for collective healing. For policymakers at the state and national level, incidents like the Brown shooting renew debates about how best to protect citizens, including discussions on mental health infrastructure, law enforcement training, background checks, extreme risk protection orders, and community prevention programs. At the time of reporting, key questions remain unanswered. What was the motive behind the shooting, if any? Has a suspect been identified or detained? How many victims were involved? And what are their conditions? What recommendations will authorities offer after preliminary investigation? As these details unfold, the focus for residents and observers alike is both immediate and systemic, securing justice for affected individuals while addressing root causes that give rise to such episodes of violence. Thank you for watching this update on World News by Halandzovskyi. If you found this coverage valuable, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your perspective. Independent reporting helps ensure critical events receive clear, thoughtful, and verified attention.